being black, it means watching people be spiritually and socially assaulted and yet have to maintain an ethic of love, compassion, and forgiveness.
We want you to live authentically yourself, and we want you to find what that authentic blackness means to you, to live out who you want to be. So this year we are celebrating our 55-year anniversary. The Black Student Union at UNM had been in existence prior to this 55 years, but December of 1969 is when UNM officially recognized it as a chartered student organization.
Eviction noticeless, hopelessness thrown on my shoulders. God will give you more than you can handle. Carry these boulders. Give you all I got until I get older. A couple medals on my sleeve, cause life made me a soldier. Reminisce on how I was way back then, but some things better off way back then. Back then.
BSU is really more than just creating a space where people can come and feel a sense of home. BSU was a political movement directly attached to the civil rights and black power movements. Out of the BSUs came the demand for African American or Afro Studies, Black Studies programs.
There's a lot of things that have come as a result of Black student activism. And so from there, the lineage is that in the 1980s, there was a split between Africana Studies to create a student services function. And so we were developed out of that, but the Black Student Union and the creation of Afro Studies always had a student serving component. And so we credit our lineage to the Black Student Union's advocacy on our campus. BSU has led the way in a lot of our DEI work on our campus. And so the creation of a Black Studies program, the creation of some of the DEI work that we now have today, and our office is a credit to their work. The fact that we have a Black living learning community today is a credit to that work. The fact that we have climate surveys is a credit to students asking for more inclusive campus climate.
You have to think about the migration of African American people out of the South. Many of the African Americans that settled here were part of the military and the war effort and came through this part of the country, but returned. So you're bringing a diverse group of people into this academic space, but you're also bringing this revolutionary political identity into a space like the University of New Mexico, and it wasn't an immediate embrace. It was met with resistance.
New Mexico's always been a challenging place where there is a community of Black folks who have always been here, but it's largely unseen to dominate culture. And so I think as Black students were coming here, they were really leaning into the small community that they had here, but they experienced challenges, right? There wasn't representation in the classroom. There weren't classroom topics that spoke to their culture. Beyond the athletic side, there was really not much for them to engage in. And so from there, they sought out space for them. They were moved by the Freedom Riders, by the Civil Rights Movement and the Black Panther Party movement. And from there, then they were able to create some space.
My experience in BSU came at a very revolutionary time period for young African American people. So it was energetic, and there were many issues to grapple with and really gravitate to. But it also came at a time when Malcolm X's ideology reemerged. It also was during a time when Rodney King was, assaulted in plain view.
My name is Tommy Ray King. King, that is, like in Rodney King, Martin Luther King, and I feel like I will die the same way. It's because of the way this world is, period.
I think the center enriched my experience as a Black student at UNM. Seeing other collegiate Black leaders really leading efforts in their respective fraternities and sororities and student groups really empowered me to then find my voice on this campus. in the center as a student and now watching students do the same thing. It's really like such an awesome experience. It's a full circle type of experience. Watching students figure out what their talent and what their skill set is my favorite thing.
You know, my son's generation of young scholars is probably one of the most inclusive generations. And so I find hope in that, you know, like a profound degree of hope for marginalized people or othered people. I think it's important for young people to identify the issues that they're passionate about and embrace them and use BSU as a platform to bring equity into the university. Is police brutality any different today than it was in 1993? I'd say no. Is racism any less impactful today than it was during my time? I'd say not. I would encourage this generation to have the courage to embrace the issues that impact their communities and use those platforms as catalysts to create change.
It's a safe space and it's a brave space, right? Because it's safe for Black students, but it also scary to do, right? To live out who you want to be. Engage a little bit deeper with folks that you might not have as many commonalities that you think you have, because you probably will end up finding some deep culture and enrichment in that.
The history of BSU's 55 years as a celebratory moment, but a rekindling moment and a moment of combustion to propel us. Use this time and this landmark of 55 years as motivation and inspiration to advance forward.
Black history is U.S. history, right? Accomplishments are being held beyond the 29 days of 2024, 28 days of most years. So much of our campus experience and our vibrant culture is because of students of color like Black students. Students now get to think about how they're going to create their own legacies on this campus and continue to give back.